we're ready for day 3 of, well, what the fuck am I kidding? This is not day 3. This is day like 9003. But this is the 3rd day that I've got organized for this set. Well, you know, whatever. This is trying to get my retro armor for Steveburto. But I'm actually playing as Kitten Snatcher. Steveburto will be at the bottom of the screen for most of the time. And just to recap, I'm playing as Kitten Snatcher Soma. Because Soma can't get the retro armor, but Soma can beast on this level with some shortcuts and shit. And I'm playing with what's called an evil controller. Pretty enraged with the old Xbox Silver. I love my Xbox Silver, but it wasn't fucking doing the way this shit I wanted it to. I've replaced its the little adjustable D-pad. The adjustable D-pad on those things, for anyone who's had one and used the hell out of it, it should blow up on you sooner or later. It starts cracking. It looks like, oh, it's just like the paint or whatever's messed up. It's actually the core of the damn controller. It's cracking slowly. And it goes and it follows a kind of like a line of what you would do if you was to throw like a fireball. Like on a Street Fighter game. You slowly see it doing that line, and when it gets there, you'll just be playing one day, and then it'll explode in your hand while you play, leaving a little stub there, almost like a mini joystick. So we went and we bought, I guess, some kind of Chinese-made looking shit. It's not the exact copy, but it's we bought a cross pad that's adjustable like that, fits into the unit. Swapped it out. Worked for a couple days, but yesterday I started noticing that it was fudged up. It wasn't responding the way I wanted to respond when I was pressing down. It was missing my input, and I can't tolerate that, man. It freaks me out when shit like that. When the controller's not working correctly, it makes me go nuts. So we had our nuts moment, and I worked on it probably about 3 or 4 hours. Try to come up with a solution. My solutions were basically, okay, so the down button, and all the other ones are working good, but down's not working right. So let me go in there, open it up, because it's just basically, the D-pad itself is kind of like a top, and it has a little point. And so if you push your top to the right, it goes down and it lays on the right a little bit. And when it does that, it presses on this like rubber membrane, which hits against the PCB. It has the this little black thing in there. It's some kind of metal. I don't know what kind of metal it is. It's pretty flexible. And anyways, that metal right there will hit the hits the PCB and it activates the button. I ain't got my potion on me. I have to get one up here. But so like I know all this, so what we're still gonna try to do was just to put something in there, like a little something, like a washer or something. That's why I started with using washers to try to fit it in there. So it would have more pressure. It would activate quicker. So there's more shit in there, so I don't have to press far down for it to activate. Because I mean, the button was working, but you kind of like had to press it hard down. But yeah, I could not get that shit to work. I still had that drill bit thing from the when I worked on the damn Nintendo joystick, and it was the right size for making a pretty cool washer. Just drill something out, and it would have a little hole in it. It would be perfectly circle. It would fit into where I wanted it to. But I tried a variety of different things, and I couldn't find anything that was very good for it. There was some kind of do-it-yourself video where they were using like a top of a peanut, like a Planters peanut, you know, the little plastic top to it. And we tried something like that. Did not work. I actually found in my kitty cat, Brian, I remember he has a big bag of toys and cool things, and one of the things in there I remember was some washers and things. I actually used Brian's toys. But yeah, that didn't work either. Then I'm like, well, okay, so I cut up a credit card. An old credit card or whatever, and tried using that. to just try to put a little notch on there where the down should press down against the membrane to make sure it was working. And I kind of had something going there for a second, but eventually I was like, man, fuck this. Especially when I'm playing it and I have 3 or more of these there digital pads. I bought several of them in advance because I know I'm going to break them. And each time I break one, I'm going to have to go through this ridiculous shit. That's if I can fix it. I'm like, this is not happening. And so begrudgingly, we've had to forego that there using the silver. Another thing I tried to do was, I'm like, okay, so I've got this evil controller thing, and then I have these other Xbox controllers. Well, maybe I could use, maybe it's the membrane itself. Maybe it's the little plastic membrane, rubberized membrane that's causing me these troubles. And I just swap them out. So I started putting other controllers apart. That's when I found out that all this shit is using standardized the silver controller and the original Xbox 360 controller is like practically, everything is the same thing besides the face top and the actual sticks. So we tried different things, pull shit out, swap things around, didn't work. Not happy at all by this time. It's not how I wanted to spend my afternoon, freaking obsessing over and trying to fix things that are just not going my way. But I have something that's called an Evil Controller. You get them from evilcontroller.com. I've had it for a long time. Wasn't ever particularly impressed with it. There might have been something else wrong with it. I'll find out later on when I'm playing a different game if it's analog sticks on and it pisses me off. Whatever it is, the Evil Controller is just a 360 controller that they've with a special custom faceplate on it. Instead of having a cross pad on it, it has 4 individual buttons. They're spread out a pretty good bit where it's not particularly the way I would do it. But seeing how it's literally just using the PCB from the Xbox, I see why they did it like that. So I'm trying to get used to it. Not too bad so far. The best thing, it does exactly what the fuck I want it to when I press it. And usually if I'm screwing up, it's because I'm screwing up. I can feel that I've screwed up. Oh, bullshit. Simon's sandals. Thank you, Lord Dracula. I needed them shoes. Yeah, I just gotta get used to this thing. I was using the joystick yesterday, the cheap little $50 Hori number, but I could do amazing crap with joysticks. I might even be better with using joysticks these days than actual controller pads. But these games aren't made. Nintendo button, it's like 2 buttons in the start and select. You could just so easily fit whatever game style that is into those 2 buttons on the stick. But this button, this game uses every button on the controller. Including left and right analog stick. So this is the right analog stick I can control the vision with. And then you actually press the analog stick down to see the map and shit. So, and I wouldn't have those. Well, now, of course, that doesn't freaking stop me. I'll just make my own shit. Yeah, I could, but, I don't want to spend all this goddamn time, because I know it's going to take me a long time to do my own shit. I'd have to freaking, find me some shitty Mad Catz PCBs and all other kinds of stuff, and that does not solve my problem at the end. It would solve it for this game. But if I get used to this Evil controller, I seem to be doing better with it. Then we don't have no fucking problems, and we're good. The best thing about it is that, have this controller would blow up or something for some reason. As long as I got my face plate and my buttons, any 360 controller can replace it. And actually, I took Thank God the Xbox One does not have this fucking problem. It ain't had it put enough time to put enough hours into it because there's no fucking games for it to really put a controller to just, you know, hundreds of hours of play or whatever over a couple of years. But I guess I'll tell you how those fucking things work because I've been in one. Me and my buddy Bon Quita fucking got in that shit. Made a joystick with a dang Xbox One controller. The Xbox One has this crazy ass. It doesn't have this top. Even the Nintendo had the kind of the top method about, you know, you pull down at an angle and it bends it over, and that activates the button. But Xbox has got this crazy ass. It's like a nest. It's like in a nest of fucking metal and plastic and springs. It's like it's almost, I would call it was almost like a spider web kind of thing. That's how the D-pad sits in there. And it's freaking cool looking. Don't look like anyone can pop it easy either. And then when it presses down, it does not press down on a membrane. It presses down on the actual PCB pad itself, and it has these metal things. They make clicking sounds when you press the Xbox controller. It makes a clicking sound when you press the direction. What it is that metal button that's being pressed. I mean, the metal kind of cover being pressed against the PCB. A much better idea. And you know, you wondering why the hell freaking Microsoft couldn't get their damn shit together about it. Especially since I loved the damn Sidewinder controller back in the day for PC. That thing was awesome. It was all that Sidewinder shit was top quality. But you know, they couldn't get it figured out, and the silver controller is literally just the regular controller with a couple of tweaks to it. You get the best analog sticks in the business, and one of the shittiest D-pads in a main controller. Freaking Dreamcast D-pad was pretty shitty too, though. So. I can get used to it. The buttons are built out of the same, like, the buttons that are on the Evil Controller D-pad, that is. They're kind of got that, they got the same kind of grip that the actual controller piece it does. And it takes a little to get used to, because it's kind of anti-slip stuff. But on the D-pad, you often want to slip your finger on purpose. So I'll have to get used to that. The distance doesn't bother me right now. It's just like a really big-ass D-pad. Some third-party controllers I used back in the day had big ones, so. Did I talk enough about fucking controllers? Listen, man, I'm a control freak. I'm usually I would be always the one that would buy the stupid-ass controllers and shit back in the day. Have the turbo controller, have that NES, what was it called? I think it was called the Max, the NES Max. It wasn't the Advantage. The Advantage was the joystick. Used the hell out of that damn thing, but it sucked. I didn't know it. When you're 10 years old, you're just amazed at the turbo buttons and shit. You didn't appreciate and understand that the regular crosspad was just way better than that damn freaking roly-poly thing they had on there. That thing's a piece of crap. Of course, I learned how to use joysticks. I guess I can tell you that story because a lot of people ask me, how do you use a fucking joystick? I learned how to use a joystick, and it took me months. And I went through a lot of them. A lot of shitty ones before I found some good ones. I was going to get a Dreamcast. I knew the Dreamcast was going to be badass. I knew it. It was obvious as hell A lot of people were like, what are you talking about? Dreamcast sucks. Well, I'm sorry. Actually, you suck. The Dreamcast was a beast of a machine. It happened to be made by Sega. That was its chief problem. But yeah, Sega was going to come out and it was going to have these trigger type things. Same kind of triggers we use to take for granted these days. I'm like, you can't play a fighting game with this freaking analog trigger shit. I was only going to have 2 face buttons. I was like, okay, I need to make the plunge because I knew it was going to have a joystick. I'm like, well, I'm going to learn how to use a fucking joystick then. That way I can go to arcades and shit too. So I bought me some crappy ass ones for PlayStation 1, the original OG PlayStation. Worked and worked and worked and worked. Thank you for the minging, Lord. On it, it took me about 3 or 4 months to get. I did it over summer to get on par to what I was doing with the controller, and more time to get better. What I would do was King of, and this continued to go into even when like the Dreamcast was out. I was still trying to learn it, get better at it. One of the things I would do was I would play without the actual screen on. I couldn't see what I was doing. I had to play in practice mode. But, you know, you could hear it when you're throwing Hadoukens or whatever. So I'd sit there and play King of Fighters 98 Dream Match on the Dreamcast. Freaking not on TV on, just the speakers, and do the moves over and over and over again, like an hour a day. You got to practice like an hour a day. And a lot of people aren't willing or committed to do that, but you need to do that if you're going to get a joystick. It's like, oh, I throw $60 down, or now it's $200 on the fucking stick, and then yeah, it just isn't no good. Usually the stick probably is good if you're not getting a shitty ass one. It's that you didn't put time into learning it. Anybody up? Got pretty good with this stick. Got actually where I went. If I went back these days and played with a controller, on certain games I could just, you know, wouldn't be too much a problem. So, like most 3D fighters, I could not even start to play with a control pad because I never did before. As soon as they came out, I was using the damn joystick on them. There's some games that, you know, are just way distinctively way better. And Virtua Fighter being particular, you really probably need that stick because you're making your life unnecessarily difficult without it. So my friends would play Virtua Fighter with using a PlayStation controller, and they would need to know like all of these buttons up. They would need to know all those face buttons, and you know, and then they would need to know what the triggers did, what combinations they did. And then they would say, well, how do you do that? I would say, well, down toward punch and kick, and they wouldn't know what the punch and kick button was. Because it was one of the buttons on, one of the trigger type buttons up there, the shoulders. And Virtua Fighter would be 3 buttons. And there's a lot of games like that. They were simply designed for playing with the stick. They didn't factor in most people play with, you know, the Super Nintendo or whatever it is. I think Killer Instinct being a great example of that. You had Killer Instinct on the arcade, and you needed all those buttons that had to be pressed in certain combos to get your big dumb combo out. Never mind that you had to be a badass to even do the basics. And they bring it out for Super Nintendo, and you need to use your all those buttons, and they're on the left and right shoulder. Alright. What fucking run am I on, by the way? God damn it. I've killed him twice. Where's my pin at? I think I killed him twice. Get my here pork chop to make my damage a little bit higher. Ah, Lord Dracula, I've not been paying no attention to you, huh, buddy? I'll let you in on a secret, Lord Dracula. As I'm killing you, I'm thinking about Diablo. How about that? Why don't you give me some fucking treasures? Huh? Yeah, that's right. Diablo puts out more than you do. What are you gonna do about that? I think you should give me something to make me want to come back to you. He knows. He knows that as soon as I get my shit, I'm not gonna play this game for like half a year. He knows it. But I'll be back, buddy. I always come back. I thought about getting it for PlayStation 3. I don't know how that there... Well, I suspect that freaking co-op on that mode, the couch co-op mode, probably sucks. But after they cut down the old Xbox in 2016 for 360 anyway, the Xbox Live, which they've already said in advance they're going to do. We'll have to find some way to play multiplayer Castlevania, or just play it solo. Great thing about that was, well, supposing it didn't suck, which I'm sure it is going to suck, but if it didn't, you could literally have 4 people in your game, you're getting 4 treasures, and they're all bound to the same, they're all the same account. So if somebody didn't get lucky, somebody else can get lucky. And then you can all put the fucking Valve away on, I think. I think that's how that works. Just one of them get it and you get off wear it. Getting a little hand fatigue from of course, you know, so much of the 360 shit has the D-pad as being used mainly as buttons anyway. It's kind of dumb that I still had faith in Razer back in the day when they were coming up with that. What was it? The Razer Onza. That was on like a freaking bookmark page for like 2 years or some shit. So they kept being slow and slow and slow about coming out with this shit. And then when they did, the D-pad on it was like super shit. I'm like, what are you idiots even thinking? Do you even guys know why people was bitching about the Xbox controller? It damn sure wasn't analog sticks and that kind of stuff. Everything else was great except for that D-pad being a piece of crap. That's going to take a lot of practice for me there. I got another retro count there. I guess I'm going to change my random topic, even though I'm probably talking to no one. I'm talking to myself. What are you talking about? I guess I'll talk about, I guess I'll bitch about Destiny. How about that? And I've not even played Destiny, and I'm going to bitch about it. I'm going to bitch about it because, you know, this was supposed to be the big super game. It came out about a week ago from where I'm talking right now. Today's Sunday. It came out on Tuesday. And, well, apparently it sucks. This was the big fucking game. This is the highlight of the freaking, you know, the showstopper on the PS4 E3 conference. This is the follow-up to Halo by Bungie. This is, you know, the big thing for PlayStation, because even though it's not exclusive to PlayStation, it was like, you know, the shit's first on PlayStation. It's associated with the brand. And then they paid a lot of money to do this, which is apparently just pay Activision a lot of money, and then Activision pays Bungie a lot of money, and then Bungie can't get their fucking game done on time, but fuck it, it's time to come out, so we're going to come out with halfway done or whatever. Because it sure as hell seems to me, to most, and it seems to a lot of people, that there's shit missing from it. This ain't done. It's some little 15-hour deal. It's like, oh, well, you can get treasures and shit, but the treasures aren't very interesting. But and now of course I'm saying all this, talking all this shit about it, and not played it. It could be just amazing, and you know, but that's not what people were saying. But you know, you got the big game. This was a game I was thinking about getting. I was gonna wait till it came out to see how it stood up, mainly because Titanfall, which is the same situation, being a really overhyped piece of shit, jaded me pretty bad. I played about 3 hours of Titanfall. Played enough to beat one of the freaking story derp campaigns. I actually played with 3 of my friends. I didn't play alone. And I was like, fuck this game. It got traded in pretty damn quick. It was shit. And I'm like, okay, so this is the next generation. We've all bought into. We've got our Xboxes. We got our PS4s. I have fucking both. I have that and a Wii U. And this is what you're going to treat us to. Some shit. But, you know, not only that, you know, you've got, no doubt, I don't even know what the season pass goodies are, but I know that there's just, like, you know, a $1,000,000 season pass with Day Zero exclusive derp content. You can wear feather wings, and, you know, your robot talks to you, and you just know it's going to be filled up with a bunch of that crap. So we're supposed to pay $80-something, pre-order this shit months in advance, so that you cannot get the game done on time and release some shit, some shallow shell of a game. But you're on a 10-year plan, man. Your game's on a 10-year cycle, and when 10 years comes, it's gonna be great. Super Mario Brothers 1 was not on a 10-year cycle. It was on you know, you got that game day one, and you just played it, and it was fucking good. That seems to be, you know, the way games have worked for 30 years. It doesn't work this way, though. Not today. You buy your shit, it's half done, and we need you to fall in and get some bonus DLC and some season passes. They won't even have all the shit that we've got as DLC on it. Okay, do you think I'm talking to you? I am. I'm a bitch to Titanfall about you and Destiny. And yeah, why the fuck should I keep putting up with that, huh? I'm not gonna pre-order shit. I was pre-ordering everything on Amazon, so I didn't have to pay attention when the fuck shit came out. That was a genius idea. Never mind that at the time I wasn't paying any tax for it, so I was getting it, you know, on a decent price, and plus, you know, whatever Amazon had for their dirt DLC, which I'd often wouldn't even pay attention to that I got, because you gotta check your email for that crap. Fuck email. But we no longer get that, so we're not gonna pre-order too many things. Of course, you pre-order Atlas games. You get actual games that need to be pre-ordered. There's a couple of kinds, and sometimes you might want to pre-order your stupid Nintendo game because it might not release enough. But yeah, your Watch Ducks and your Battle Farts, all of those will be released in bazillions of copies. They'll take up the whole fucking GameStop behind the guy where he tries to sell you some, you know, DLC and pre-order bonuses for it of games that, you know, are shit. But because he has a kiosk for it, it's an exclusive deal, he's got to sell it up. But yeah, behind him, there'll be millions of copies of Battle Farts and Maddens, and everything else will be all there. You're not going to be like, oh man, we're going to be out of it. And fuck, if you are out of it, you can just get you a digital one. Shit. So we gotta, as a gaming community overall, quit pre-ordering dumb shit. And that means everything. Because they're just taking us for a ride on a lot of that stuff. My Count Chiricula here, he would never take us for a ride. Day one, this game was worth $15. And they eventually added a bunch more DLC, enough to make it $40-ish, and it's still worth it. There's some DLC that I think is really legitimately worth it, but most of it is way overpriced. Castlevania Lord of Shadow. That was the that was pretty much okay. So you had a crazy ass ending that made no fucking sense at all. And it's like, oh, you want to know what happened? Well, you need to buy our DLC new ending or whatever it is. I'm like, the fuck is this? I refuse to buy those. Final Fantasy X2. It had another what the fuck ending. Not X2. X2 sucked. That's that shitty game I played this year. 13X-Teen Part 2 or whatever it is. And yeah, that one had like a oh, you need to pay for the ending thing. I'm like, I didn't eventually get it, and I still got ripped off because I got it because I wanted to know going into Final Fantasy 13 Part 3 or whatever the hell it was, what the fuck was going on. And I've beaten 13 twice, the original 13. I went through it twice. I actually really like it. I know I'm in the minority. I liked it because it was hard and it was pretty damn balanced. And I loved the combat. That alone would get me. I didn't need no towns or any dumb things like that everybody else was bitching about. I didn't give a fuck that the story didn't make no sense or that half the characters were retards. That's every Final Fantasy game. It's the way it's been for a long time. I don't know what they've been bitching about it now. But yeah, freaking DLC endings. What did this start off as? It started off as me bitching about Destiny. Okay, well, yeah, if you keep buying all this shit, they can release all these half-assed dumb games that suck. You could bitch a lot about Call of Duty, but I mean, they charge you for the same shit you've already bought or was in the last game, the same levels or whatever. But the game they give you, as far as I know, is freaking complete. It's ready to go, and it doesn't completely suck. Unless you really hate Call of Duty. And why the hell is it got to be an MMO, by the way? And what kind of privileges of the MMO? All it says when it's like Destiny, the MMO that's just more scrutiny for me because now I know that I just believe that you're trying to pull something over on me. You're gonna have massive raids of 6 players. First of all, who gives a shit about a raid? And I thought raids are supposed to be like 40 fucking people. That's where they are in the original World of Warcraft, where people's getting all this shit from, and EverQuest. But this is gonna have a massive 6-player team. Wow. When freaking Halo 3 and 4 was 4-player co-op, right? But you have that shit going on. And instead of making you, wander around a big ass world, you might see somebody like one time. And they don't interact in your game. It's stupid. It's real dumb. It's a tacked on idea. It worked on real good because because it's online Burper only. No one's done too many reviews for it yet. Now that the reviews are coming out after a lot of people have already bought it, but they were going to buy it anyway. It already pre-ordered about 1 million, and then it sucks. it's not done. I mean, maybe when their 10-year plan is done, it's going to be a great franchise. But if the first one's terrible, why do you get permission to make a second one? That's something I say right now. If your first one sucks, you shouldn't be allowed to make a second one. We're gonna fix it. But hey, it worked for Assassin's Creed. It's a franchise, the end. Get over yourself. I'm gonna buy it. I forgot the goddamn. I was talking so much shit. I don't know which run I'm on. I think I'm on. We're just gonna say it's the 6th run. How about that? Fuck it. It might be on the 5th run. We're gonna say 6th. I can't. I mean, if I gotta limit myself to runs instead of time, I don't really fucking pay attention. I mean, I just talk a bunch of shit. Fuck you. I swing my big slow ass sword at you. Jerry's like, that sword sucks, man. I'll show you. I'll berserker it. Just never get hit ever. Fuck, jumped too early. Let me get used to this here evil controller. And its analog sticks on it feel real good for some reason. Fucking feel marvelous. Way better than the original controller. Must have done something to it. Pick and choose. I should have picked different buttons, colors, and shit. Oh, Castlevania. There's a website called hardcoregaming101.com, or maybe it's not exactly what that's called. Somewhere in there, that's what it is. It's a badass website because what they do is basically do articles. Woohoo! Barely bodged that shit. I'm playing like an idiot here. I'm about to die. Shut up for a second. Alright. Anyway, hardcoregaming1.com does a bunch of articles, and I think you people can post into them. They've been turning these articles into books. And so there's going to be a Castlevania book coming up pretty soon, and I'm excited. I'm getting it on Thursday. This was run number 6, right? I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to say it. I think I'm cheating a little bit. Alright, so we got 3 more. I'm most certainly cheating. I don't remember exactly. Let's see what my time is over here. It's 40 minutes. There's no way I've done. Fuck it. Let's cheese ball it, alright? The sooner I get done with this, the sooner I can go eat. I should take off my luck gear or whatever it is. My shit would be a lot faster if I took off the luck gear. But we're gonna hopefully and assume maybe that it works, even though it doesn't seem to be doing any goddamn thing. On these random loot drop games, and the loot's real rare, what will generally happen is in the community there'll be like a lot of conspiracies and various ideas. Like, this is how it works. And it's like, oh well, I get all this shit all the time. All you gotta do is jump kick on his head 3 times and collect, 14 treasures. It's like, oh man, you need to open every treasure chest. You need to get the crown or the secret weapon. You need to get all the secret weapons. Never get hit. You need to come in first place on Wednesdays. And that's how you get the treasure. It's like, here's the crown I'm talking about. So each level has this little secret goodie out. That adds like 10,000 points to the score. But it's like, oh man, you gotta get a high score to get the treasure. But no one actually knows for absolute certain if that's how it works. And then there's like, well, there's these 3 gears. I'm wearing all 3 of them. There's a thief ring, 2 of those, and then called an Emanatsu cape or whatever it says. It increases red treasures. The main thing it noticeably does is those little guys, like these little fucker there on the ground and all that other shit, they drop their little spears or goodies they're supposed to drop. Definitely does that. It also definitely affects the rarity of the regular treasure chest and all the different little colors. Good shit will pop out of that. But it's a lot of debate, a huge amount of debate back in the day about whether it actually affected the boss chest, which is where the real rare shit comes from. You know, it's supposed to be like a 1% chance for that. You know, the old Sonic boots. But no one actually knows if it's a 1%. Just people believe it. Well, we don't speak Japanese. There's not very much information about this game. And then there's people who are like, well, I ran 1,000 fucking runs and not in luck gear, and then you realize and look at his gear and he's running the freaking Eminatsu cape, and he's like, well, I just wanted to run that because of, you know, I like picking up the items. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't, you're completely skewed off about whether this is like a no luck run or a partial luck run. So you don't really know. And then there's all this debate, well, okay, it doesn't matter if you've got luck gear on, if you don't get the final hit and all that good, it's just like, the fuck's going on at the end of the day. And it's like, oh, if someone else has to wear their luck, has to get hit. What is known is if you put on too much luck gear, you fucking lose a lot of damage, and your time ratio is probably going to be sucking for it, making it not worth it anyway, because it doesn't make a noticeable effect. It isn't something that isn't really, really noticeable. But I'm wearing it anyway. Just trying to have some faith here in Lord Count Chocula. He's going to give me some shit, alright? Having a big dumb sword helps me out right there, because I'm not losing a huge amount of damage. Well, if you was using a lower damage weapon that attacks a lot, you need those miser rings with the tid damage on each one of them in order to do good. I'm not dependent on miser rings for damage. Do good without it. I get 200 off that shit. Miser ring doesn't even factor into that, I don't believe. I think that's a magic attack. Everybody you play with, they're so desperate for their Mazarines, mainly because Soma and fucking Alucard need them shits. The other characters don't even need the freaking Mazarines. It's not even their best in slots. But there's so many people who feel like they're useless without them, which is not true. It's this game and Diablo 3 where you've got all this bound on acquire or bound. It's bound. You can't trade. You can't trade with the shit. And so you're in a situation where you've got to work with what you got. A lot of people don't like that at all, but it will force you to kind of to vary your build, to come up with some ideas, plans, and strategies. Who knows? You might have a freaking new Uber build. You made things work because you didn't have your automatic cheeseball weapon. Shit, yeah, I know he does that. There's only a couple good times to swack him like that. Like when he's already in the corner. Oh, fuck. I thought I was going to freaking outrun it. I need Sonic Boots +1. This game desperately needs a sequel. I don't know if people know this. On Game FAQs, you get the top 10 most popular boards or whatever, for every system and platform. And then think it was 2009 when Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out. The freaking universe was changed forever on that time, and that just stayed at the top of the Game FAQ board for like ever. The game to knock it off, number one, was fucking Harmony of Despair. It was Castlevania. I was so proud. I'm like, yes, it's got to be number one because it's freaking amazing. But it's because, you know, there's not much staying power with the game. They went and added 40 jillion hours of too much of DLC to get everything. But the actual first 6 levels, you finish through pretty quick. Definitely could use a sequel. Came out like a week after or before Tomb Raider Guardian of Light, and the next one of that's out this December. I'm hyped for that shit. Real hyped. Can't wait. Oh man, don't go out in the freaking mic like that. And don't talk with your mouth open. Yeah. Working on a little 3DS game. Oh, there's nothing little about it. I shouldn't say little. It's called, I don't know what it's pronounced. I'm going to call it Etrian Odyssey 4. I just one of those games, I've seen it. I've seen like screenshots or some shit. I'm like, this game looks fucking awesome. And I never had a DS, so I never played the other ones. But I had the 3DS. And I was looking for some RPGs or whatever. No, man, I found one. Found some brutal core shit. This here Etrian Odyssey 4. I've said to myself, I'm not getting any more 3DS games. I mean, I got Shin Megami because 4, but I haven't actually played it. I'm not gonna play it until I actually beat this one because it's so good. But I've had it over a year now. Freaking some rough shit. So I'm gonna try to finish that up. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna hit it though. It's rough. But really, really good. It's one of them first-person wizardry style games. The Japanese love wizardry, and so they've used that in a lot of their game types. And Shin Megami Tensei started off it like that. So now you got the Personas, which don't follow the rules, but so there's just a lot of games that are being made by the Japanese that are going back to being those first-person brutal core bullshit games. And I've never beaten a first-person RPG, and I want that one to be my first one. I want to eventually do Wizardry 7 or 8. Probably start with 8 first. I played them a bazillion times. One of those games that you just kept playing and playing and playing and could never fucking pull it out. But going with our standing this year with all the shit we've taken out, all of our must-haves, got to defeat games all taken out, I think I'm going to hit that up next year. If I do, I'm going to record every single bit of it, so you'll see the one person who will look at it, which would be me. You would see how freaking insane those Wizardry games are. They are off the chart ridiculous. Wizardry 8 was just a masterpiece. It had some serious problem with the fact that every monster got to move on each turn. What means that the turns would last for freaking forever. Everybody's moving around. What do you want, Brian? Listen, I'm on go number. We should probably skip it up and say it's like number 10. This is the last one. Count Chocula knows. He knows the actual numbers of runs I'm doing. He's on to me. He thinks I'm skipping out one. I think I am too. I don't know exactly. But I'm fucking going with the higher number. Well, Brian, we've used this here evil controller all day. Had no problems with it. This may be where we're going to be using from now on. Brian, I don't know what you're doing in there. I'll fucking kill you. He's in there where all my systems and shit is. He knows how to get attention. I haven't been saying thank you, Count Dracula.
Thanks.
Thanks for the minging lord. Haha! I predicted it! That's bonus points for me. Maybe if I can predict what the treasure is each time, I can take a notch off. Let's go one, let's go. That just means I'll just, never get it ever because I'll guess minging lord every time and it'll always be one. Why am I even checking this shit? I mean, look, my R count's going up there, man. 3 more R counts. Yo, Ryu Kitoshi, man. He's a beast when you max him. My Steveburto Soma's had a max when I run with that shit all the time. Alright, so now I'm starting my 9th go. Well, I'm saying I am. I think I might be ahead of myself by 1, maybe even 2. Fuck it, we're going with it. Hey man, evil controller. Looking pretty good. Oh gosh. Just gotta sigh every level. Just, go back and count the sighs and the mission's complete. So I had 75,000 sighs in this game. Ah, sigh. What a dick. Ah! The big dumb sword. I love it. small beer makes this freaking combo running the big sword way, way more doable. Soma? When we press down, we go down. That's great. Ha ha! Speaking of projects, we gotta freaking we gotta go and look at our cheap little bastard computer. He's not happy. I'm hoping he's just gotta shorten him out when I turn him on. It's possible. It's very, very possible. Yeah, that's probably what's going on. We'll take a look at it. Well, that, and I don't think I got the processor plugged in. I mean the processor power, whatever it is. I think I missed on that. We'll hit that shit too. Take a look at this stuff and see what we got going on. Thinking about having, you know, 4 or 5 computers is you gotta maintain 4 or 5 fucking computers. It's a lot of damn work. So idiots go up here and watch stupid YouTube videos that look too loud. Ha-ha! Well, Count Chocula, remember I put in that time limit of getting out of this. The time limit being when freaking Hyrule Warriors comes out, which is a dumb name, but people wouldn't know what Legend of Musu would be. They'd be like, Musu, what the fuck's that? That's the Dynasty Warriors. It would confuse the fuck out of people. Oh, you oh, fuck that up too. Talking shit. Hyrule Warriors. That's gonna piss off so many people. I must get the new Legend of Zelda. All he does is walk around and kill stupid moblins. So welcome, man. Welcome to the Dynasty. You should have to fight Lu Bu as a fucking secret enemy. What the fuck do you want, Brian? I don't like you no more. Haven't we already had this discussion? You know who drank my cranberry juice last night, or tried to? You did. You did. Die, you shit balls. He's a donkey. Oh, kidding you now. That takes a little bit of work. Mercury boots, heavy armor. But I've already seen the heavy armor Mercury boots combo. It was just reversed. I need to stop and sell all this shit. Maybe grab me another $1 million. Alright, so I got one more run. Yeah. It's like, well, just give me my treasure, man. it's, it's game is ridiculous, man. They didn't want to frustrate players, they said. That's what you've done. That's why everybody quit besides me. I don't get frustrated. I just get more and more diligent. Sat here and played one level 8 hours or whatever it is over the course of a day. I don't play it straight. Just you play there and you would go, do something, come back. Come on, we're gonna play some more. Same fucking level. Go get to the damn Sonic boots. My friend Jerry was bitching about it. It took him 100 goes to get a Sonic boots. He don't even know the fuck he's talking about. I stole his record 8 times over. Fucking bullshit. It's alright, we ain't hit no 1,000 goes yet. They could this right here could be stretched to the 1,000 goes real quick. Dracula has them powers. He controls your fate. Oh, and another thing to bitch about Destiny. Apparently somebody, the developers were like, well, the scores aren't going to reflect how good the game is. That's when you fucking know right then. You're going to get fucked. You're about to get screwed over by the corporate man. Once they get their surprisingly content that they're not done with yet, because then it's going to help out the game. They just won't be ready day one because we need to make money now. We have to make our deadline. I was sitting there saying, well, once Destiny comes out, fucking ain't gonna be need no other games coming out. It's coming out first. It's gonna pull up GTA 5. Everything else is gonna have to just say, oh fuck, we'll come out next year. We can't handle it. That's how it works. Now they're sitting there, all these other companies like, yep, we should have brought our battle farts, policeman versus pirates. We should have brought it out this year since Destiny sucks. We had already delayed our stuff. We're scared. Dumbasses. This is run number 10, I promise, Dracula. I think it is. So let's fucking get this shit done, okay? So I can do something else. I've done my time on this game. I do like it, but I don't like playing the same fucking level a bajillion times over. But it's the only one that has a treasure left, so give it. Give it up.
I'm on it.
God damn it. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I want to. Oh, this day's been so much better, though. So much better than day 2 or 2002, whatever the hell, whatever run number day I were on in this game. Don't have to panic. Don't have to fucking worry about shit not working. That I'd spent so much time on to fix. It was not going to happen. Everything's working fine. Asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, Count Chocula, your music is so amazing. Your battle music. It's this epic on the fucking Nintendo one too. You're in some real shit, you know you are. Even though he's not that hard on the Nintendo as compared to this one. I think that you have an option between a cross and holy water. Don't get the fucking holy water. You have to hit him in the head even on that one. So what you would do is you would go up and down the steps in front of his place, and you'd build up your freaking shit till you had a triple, and you had like 99 hearts. And then you just keep the crosses flying in the air. And you wanted to get to this guy's right here. You want to get there, probably only taking one hit or whatever it is. And then you might take one or two hits on him when he's a big fat slow guy. But otherwise, you had it. Fucking Castlevania 2 Dracula, he's a joke. He sucks. You can stun lock his ass into dumb shit, like fucking throwing the little fire thing to build up on the ground. Or, thank you, sir. There was diamonds that popped at an angle, too. They used those in Symphony of the Night later on. Jonathan has that as a weapon now, but they were big-ass diamonds in Castlevania 2. Let me give me my glorious... We're gonna say retro right now because you know it could be 1 in 1,000. I'm playing that 1 to 1. I'm the one, man. Hit the shit. I'm gonna hit thanks in advance. Thanks. Thanks for Simon Sandals. We'll be right back up here tomorrow to play some more of your shit. What a dickhead.